Hey everyone, it's Aditya here. And first of all, if you had not subscribed to this channel yet, then please do it now so that you don't miss any future update. So let's start today's video. In today's video tutorial, I will show you how we can create and save a NumPy ND array. ND arrays just mean n-dimensional arrays. I will let you know more about them in the code section. So let's head over to Jupyter Notebook first. So this is my Jupyter Notebook here, and to create a NumPy array, first of all we have to import the NumPy library. And to use the NumPy library in our code, we have to write a simple Python command, that is import, then the library name NumPy as np. So here import is just a keyword which means that we are importing something from outside, and NumPy is just a library, so NumPy is just a library name, and as is another keyword, and np is just a short form we are using for NumPy. Here in the place of np you can use it anything you want, like a b c d x y z, but most of the people use np, so I'll just go with the np. So let's run this cell. Okay, now we have imported our NumPy library, and after that I'll just create simple Python list here first. So I'll just create a simple Python list as L1, and it contains integer in it. And I will create another list L2, which is a nested Python list. So I'll just create a list inside a list. Okay guys, so we have created two lists. First is just a simple Python list and second is a nested Python list. So let's run this cell. So up to now we have imported our NumPy library as np, and we have created two Python lists. Now to create a NumPy array, we have two main methods. First is to create them using NumPy's array function, which uses some other array like objects, for example Python list, and creates the array. And the second option is using the NumPy built-in functions, which creates us the specific type of array. So in this video tutorial, I will just go with the first one. So to create an array, what we have to do is we have to write the NumPy as np, then we just call the array function here, and to call any function we have to use a dot and then just write the function name as array. So this is a function, and now we have to pass the list inside it. So I'll just pass the list L1 here, and let's run this cell. So here you can see that our array has been created. You can see that array and then we have a list. So it's just a NumPy one-dimensional array, and now to use this array I'll just assign it into a variable name x here and rerun the cell. Okay, now after that I'll print the array and its type. So we can do that by writing print x and print type of x. So just write type and inside it we will write x. Okay, so let's run this cell again, and you can see that the first line is the array itself. This is our array created, and the second line is the type of the array. So you can see that its type is of numpy.nd array. Here nd means just n dimensional. So as this is the one dimensional array, so it will just 1D array here. Another great feature of NumPy is that it comes with lot of different attributes which provides us many information in an intuitive way. So let's see an example here. I will use the dtype attribute here. So to use the dtype, I will just write x.dtype. It's an attribute in NumPy. It is not a function. It means it does not need these types of brackets. So just remove them and then just run the cell. And here you can see that it shows us int32. This is the data type of the elements stored in this array. So int32 means these are the 32-bit integer that are stored in the array x. So here you can see that these are all the integers, and these are stored as 32-bit integer inside the Python memory. Also we have another attribute, that is shape attribute. So we can write it as x.shape, and it will provide us the shape of the array in a tuple with some positive integers in it. So you can see that it provides us a single integer 5. It means that it is a one-dimensional array. That's why it provides us a single integer here. And the value of the integer 5, it means that it consists of 5 elements in it. Now the shape attributes provide us 2 integers when we have created a 2D array. So to check this, let's create an 2D array and then we use the shape attribute on that array. So let's create a 2D array. So I will write it as y is equal to np.array, and inside it we will pass the list L2 that we have created here. So I'll just pass L2 here, and now our 2D array has been created. We can check it by writing the print y, and also we'll just check the type of the y, so we can write it as type of y. So here you can see that this is the array created and this is its type. So its type is again numpy.nd array and it's a 2D array. And many of you wants to know that how we can know that it's a 2D array or it's a 1D array. So a simple trick is that just see the brackets in this beginning of the array. Here you can see that there are two brackets. It means that it's a 2D array. And you can also check it with the help of shape attribute. So let's write y.shape here and run this command, and you can see that we get a tuple with two positive integers in it. It means that it is a 2D array, and here the first element represents the size of the rows and the second element represents the size of columns. So it means it consists of 3 rows and 3 columns. We can also check it here that it consists of 3 rows and it consists of 3 columns here. So up to now I think there is no problem to understand anything. So let's move on. Let's use another attribute, that is size attribute. So y.size and run this cell. It gives us the size of an array. So you can see that it returns 9 in the output. It means that the array contains 9 elements in it, as we can also see here. Let's pause for a minute to introduce you some useful terminology, which is whenever we create any ND array, we say that the array has rank n. So what I mean by this is that when we create a 1D array, it means the array has rank 1. Here you can see that this is a rank 1 array, and when we created a 2D array, here it is, and so it is a rank 2 array. Till now we have created an array of integer types. Let's create an array of string type. So I'll just write here as s equal to np dot array and assign it some string here. So we can write it as let's run this cell. So we have created our array with strings in it, and now we'll just print the same information here that we have done above. So let's write, first we print its shape here. So I just write it as shape and then a space, and for shape we have to use s.shape attribute here. I'll just print the type of the array, so we can print it as type of array here, and I'll just use the I'll just use type of x here, sorry s, and last we have to print the data type of the elements stored in that array. So for that we can just type it as dtype here, and we can just use s.dtype. Okay, so now let's run this cell here. Oh, I just created a typo here. I didn't write dtype, I just write dype here. So I have to write dtype, and there also I have to write dtype here. So let's run it again, and there you go. Now you can see that shape is just the same as like the previous one, as it's a 1D array containing 2 elements in it. And for type we have again numpy.nd array type, and in dtype you can see that it's u3. So it's just a Unicode string stored as 3 characters. You may notice here that NumPy automatically assigns the dtype of the elements stored in the array by itself. But we can also change the dtype or provide any particular dtype that we want. So let me just show you with an example what I mean to say here. So in this example I will create another NumPy array. So I have created integers and float together. So let's create this array, and now let's just check the dtype of this array. So we can do this with the help of dtype attribute, and here you can see that it has provided float 64 to all the elements stored in the array, while you can see that still this array has 2 elements stored as integer in it. But what NumPy does is it actually converts all the elements as float 64 so that we don't have any error while we're doing some calculations into it. Now to provide our particular data type that we want, we can just use it with the help of a keyword, that is dtype. So we can add here dtype keyword, and we can provide it value like np.int32. So let's run this command, and again let's check the dtype of the z. and we can see that now the type has been changed to int32. And if we see the elements inside the array, then you can see it with the help of print z. You can see that all the elements has been converted to integer type. So it's another feature of NumPy in which we want that NumPy does not itself change the data type of the element, and we want all the element to be a particular or to be a specific data type. Then we can use this dtype keyword. So that's how we create a array in NumPy, and it is recommended that whenever we create an array in NumPy, it must be of single data type. It means that it must be either of float data type or of integer data type. Now once you created a NumPy array, you may want to save it so that you can use it again for further program or for further calculation. So to save a NumPy array, what we have to do is, first let me create a NumPy array again here. So I'll just write np.array and I'll just pass the list L1. So now we have created an array, and to save it, we just need another function included in NumPy library, that is np.save. And with this function, what we have to provide is, we have to provide two things. First, we have to provide a name, any random name that we want our array to be saved as. So I'll just provide it as array, and after that we have to provide the array which we want to save. So I'll just provide x here. So let's run this cell. So now our array has been saved into our local directory with name array.npy file, and we can also now use it again later whenever we need it. So to use it again, what we have to do is, we have to save it in a variable save y, and we will use another NumPy function, that is load function. And in this load function, we will just provide the name of the array, that is array.npy. So you have to add .npy because this is the extension that how NumPy array saves in our local directory. So now let's run this cell, and once you run this cell, you can see the array by printing the y here, and here you can see that this is our array that we have saved previously. So guys, this is all about this tutorial, and in this tutorial I have shown you how you can create your array and how you can save it and load it again whenever we need it. And I think there is no doubt in this whole lecture, because everything here is so easy and I didn't use any complicated terminology here. But still, if you have any doubts, then you can just directly contact me through the Facebook page, or you may write your comments below the video. So that's all for this video, and in my next video I will show you how we can create different type of NumPy array using the variety of built-in NumPy functions. So till then, enjoy Python.